The ultrasound screen flickered in the dim light of Dr. Yoon's private examination room, showing a tiny form that looked more like a bean than a baby. Amara stared at it, one hand pressed against her stomach, the other gripping Minjai's hand so hard her knuckles had gone white. 16 weeks, Dr. Yoon said, her voice professionally calm despite the tension radiating from her patients. The baby is developing normally. Strong heartbeat. Good size for gestational age. But Dr. Thompson, Amara, your blood pressure is elevated. Stress hormones are through the roof. If this continues, we're looking at potential complications. Preeclampsia, preterm labor. You need rest. Real rest. Not hiding in a safe house while planning counterattacks rest. Can't rest when people are trying to kill us, Amara said flatly, her eyes never leaving the screen. Their baby. So small. So vulnerable. Growing inside her while the world burned around them. Minjai's jaw clenched. Then we end this. Now. Song Jae-sung and whatever remnants he's gathered. We find them, and we finish it before... He stopped, looking at the ultrasound. Before our child is born into a war zone. The baby's due in October, Dr. Yoon said. 6 months from now. You have time to... An explosion rocked the building. Not close. Several blocks away, but close enough that the ultrasound machine rattled and the lights flickered. Through the window they could see smoke rising from the direction of Minjai's headquarters in Gangnam. Minjai's phone erupted with calls. He answered Dae-jung first. Report. Car bomb in the underground parking garage. 3 dead, 7 wounded. They targeted your personal vehicle, boss. If you'd been here... Dae-jung's voice was tight. They're escalating. This is a message. What kind of message? The kind that says they know where you are at all times. The kind that says nowhere is safe. Boss, I'm pulling all non-essential personnel. Families are being evacuated. We're going to full lockdown protocol. Minjai looked at Amara, at the ultrasound showing their child, at Dr. Yoon whose hands were shaking despite her calm demeanor. Do it. And Dae-jung, find me Song Jae-sung. I don't care what it takes. I want him found. He hung up and turned to Amara. We're moving you. Now. Somewhere they can't find. Can't reach. Can't... No. Amara's voice was steel. I'm not hiding while you fight. We've had this argument before and I'm not having it again. I'm pregnant, not helpless. I have resources, contacts, skills they need. The invisible hand might be compromised, but I still have people who owe me favors. People who can find Song Jae-sung faster than your organization ever could. You're carrying our child, which is exactly why I'm fighting, because I won't raise a baby in fear. I won't spend the next 6 months wondering if today's the day someone puts a bullet through our window. She stood, yanking the ultrasound wand off her stomach, ignoring Dr. Yoon's protests. We end this, together, like we've done everything else. Amara, don't. She grabbed her clothes, started dressing. You promised me partnership. You promised me we protect each other. So stop trying to lock me in a tower and let me do what I do best. Hunt monsters. Minjai stared at her, this woman who'd taken 4 bullets for his son, who'd built an intelligence network in shadows, who was now 6 months pregnant and ready to walk into war. Love and terror warred on his face. If anything happens to you, to either of you, then you'll burn the world down. I know. I'd do the same. She cupped his face. But nothing's going to happen because we're smarter than them, faster than them. And we have something they don't. People who fight for love instead of revenge. That's our advantage, so let's use it. Dr. Yoon cleared her throat. If you're both determined to be suicidal, at least let me give you prenatal vitamins and an emergency medical kit. And Amara, if you start cramping, bleeding, or feeling lightheaded, you stop. Immediately. I don't care if you're mid-gunfight, the baby comes first. The baby comes first, Amara agreed. She pressed her hand to her stomach. Hold on, little one. Your parents are about to do something really stupid. Welcome back to Afro-Korean Story Hub. If you've been following this journey, you know what's coming. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment. Are you ready for this? Let's go. In a different safe house across Seoul, Jiho was becoming something his father wouldn't recognize. For 3 days, he'd done nothing but train. Hand-to-hand combat with Hyunwoo, who didn't pull punches despite Jiho's age. Weapons training with Daejung's most experienced soldiers. Tactical planning with the lieutenants who'd survived Park Ji-woo's attack. He trained until his knuckles bled, until his body screamed, until the image of Hana's face, beautiful, lying, heartbroken, finally started to fade. Again, he said, facing the training dummy. His fists were wrapped in bloody tape, his knuckles split and raw. But the pain felt good. The pain meant he was doing something instead of just hurting. Hyunwoo watched from the corner, arms crossed. His shoulder wound from the safe house attack was still healing, but he'd refused to rest. Jiho, you've been at this for 6 hours. Take a break. No. Again. Your father wouldn't want... My father isn't here. Jiho's fist slammed into the dummy with enough force to rock it back. He's with Amara, planning strategy, preparing for war. And I'm tired of being the one who needs protecting. I'm tired of being the reason everyone else has to risk their lives. So I'm going to learn. I'm going to get better, and next time someone comes for my family, I'm going to be the one who stops them. He attacked the dummy again, a flurry of strikes that would have devastated a real opponent. Hyunwoo had been teaching him dirty fighting. Eye gouges, throat strikes, groin kicks. Nothing honorable. Everything effective. What happened to the boy who cried over a girl? Hyunwoo asked quietly. He realized crying doesn't stop bullets. Jiho's voice was cold. Hana made her choice. She chose her family over me. I understand that now. Family is everything, and mine is in danger because I was weak, because I let myself be used. That's not happening again. His phone buzzed. His father, finally calling back after 8 hours of silence. Jiho answered while continuing to punch the dummy. Appa. Jiho, we need you at the central safe house. There's been an incident. Car bomb, casualties. We're consolidating forces. Min-jae's voice was strained. How are you holding up? I'm fine. Better than fine. I'm ready. A pause. Ready for what? For whatever's coming. I'm not sitting out the next attack. I'm not hiding in a panic room while everyone else fights. You've trained me for this my whole life. It's time to use that training. Son, you're 18. I'm the heir to this organization. I'm your son. And I'm done being protected like I'm still 8 years old. Jiho's fist went through the dummy, the wooden stand splintering. When you find Song Jae-sung, I'm coming with you. Non-negotiable. Another pause, longer this time. Then, we'll discuss it when you get here. Be safe. The streets aren't secure. I know. Hyunwoo's with me. We'll take the secondary route. Jiho ended the call and turned to find Hyunwoo staring at him with something like respect. You've changed, the lieutenant said. Had to. The world doesn't care about 18-year-old boys with broken hearts. It only cares about whether you're strong enough to survive. Jiho unwrapped his hands, wincing as tape pulled at split skin. Let's go. My father needs us. They left through the back entrance, Hyunwoo's hand on his weapon, both of them scanning shadows. Seoul at night was beautiful, neon and movement and life. But Jiho saw it differently now. Every alley was an ambush point, every rooftop a sniper's nest, every car a potential bomb. Love had made him soft. Hana had made him soft. He wouldn't make that mistake again. Song Jae-sung stood in an abandoned warehouse in Busan, 2 hours from Seoul, surrounded by the remnants of families that Kang Min-jae had destroyed over the past decade. 20 men and women, all with blood debts to collect, all willing to die for revenge. The car bomb was a success, his lieutenant reported. 3 dead, Kang's personal vehicle destroyed, but he wasn't in it. I didn't expect him to be. Jae-sung studied the map of Seoul spread across a table, marked with locations, Min-jae's businesses, his safe houses, his known associates. The bomb was a message, a reminder that we can strike anywhere, anytime. Now he's consolidating forces, pulling everyone into defendable positions. Exactly what I wanted. What's the next move? We make him choose. Jae-sung tapped 3 locations on the map. Simultaneous attacks. his central headquarters in Gangnam, the private clinic where Dr. Thompson receives prenatal care, and the university where his son still attends classes. 3 targets, 3 teams. He can't defend them all. He has to choose. A woman in the corner spoke up. Park Mi-sun, cousin of Park Ji-woo who'd led the last failed attack. You're using us as bait, sacrificial pawns to draw out his forces. Yes, is that a problem? No. As long as Kang Min-jae suffers, I don't care if I die. My cousin believed that. I believe that. We all believe that. Mi-sun's eyes were dead, empty of everything except hate. When do we move? Tomorrow night, during the shift change at his headquarters. When the university lets out. When the clinic closes. Maximum chaos. Maximum casualties. And when he's rushing between locations, trying to save everyone. Jae-sung smiled, cold and terrible. That's when we take what matters most. His woman, his son, his unborn child. We take them all and we make him watch them die slowly. Just like we watched our families die. What about his daughter? Someone asked. Song Hana, she's still in Seoul, still at the university. Jae-sung's face hardened. She's not my daughter anymore. She chose the Kang boy over her family. She gets what she deserves. Nothing. If she's caught in the crossfire, so be it. I have no children. I have only revenge. The room fell silent. Even hardened criminals understood the depth of hate required to disown your own child. But Jae-sung had moved past love, past family, past anything human. He was pure vengeance now, and that made him more dangerous than any army. Rest tonight, he ordered. Tomorrow, we end the Kang family, permanently. At the central safe house, Amara sat in the war room studying surveillance footage from a dozen cameras, her hand unconsciously rubbing her belly. The baby was active tonight, kicking and turning, as if sensing the tension in her body. Anything? Min-jae asked, coming up behind her, his hands settling on her shoulders. 3 suspicious vehicles circling the university in the past hour. Different makes, different plates, but similar patterns. They're casing it, planning something. She pulled up another feed. And look at this. The same van has passed the clinic 4 times today. Different drivers each time, but same vehicle. They're coordinating, multiple targets. They want to spread us thin. Min-jae's hands tightened. Make us choose between defending you, Ji-ho, or the organization. So we don't choose. We defend everything. Amara pulled up a tactical map. The invisible hand still has people. Not many, but enough. I can have teams at the clinic and university. Your people focus on headquarters. We create a network, not a fortress. Make them think each location is vulnerable when really they're walking into traps. You're pregnant. You shouldn't be coordinating a military operation. I'm a pregnant woman who's been doing this for 7 years. I think I can handle it. She looked up at him. Unless you have a better idea. He didn't. Which was the problem? Song Jae-sung had learned from previous failures. He wasn't attacking head-on anymore. He was using their love against them, forcing impossible choices. The door opened. Ji-ho entered with Yun-woo, and Min-jae barely recognized his son. The boy who'd cried over Hana a week ago was gone, replaced by someone harder, colder, with eyes that had seen too much too fast. Ji-ho, Amara said softly, seeing it too. Are you okay? I'm operational. The clinical word choice was deliberate. What do you need me to do? Min-jae and Amara exchanged glances. Their son was breaking, hardening into something they'd tried to prevent. But there was no time to address it now. The war was here. We think they're targeting the university tomorrow, Min-jae said, along with the clinic and headquarters. Simultaneous attacks designed to split our forces. I want you nowhere near campus until this is over. I'm not hiding. Ji-ho, I'm not hiding, he repeated, voice flat and final. You want to defend the university? Fine, I'll be there. I know the buildings, the exits, the hiding spots. I can coordinate evacuation better than any of your people. And if they come for me specifically, I'll be ready. You're 18 years old. I'm the reason they're attacking, the reason Hana betrayed us, the reason any of this is happening. So I'm going to be there when it ends. You can accept that, or waste time arguing, but I'm going either way. The silence was tense. Amara stood, moving between father and son. Then you go with a full security team. Hyunwoo, Daejung, and at least 4 more guards. You stay on campus only long enough to coordinate evacuation. First sign of real danger, you leave, non-negotiable. Jiho looked at her, some of the hardness cracking. You're taking their side? I'm taking survival's side. You want to help? Help by staying alive. Help by being smart instead of reckless. Your father and I can't focus on stopping Song Jae-sung if we're terrified you're going to do something stupid and brave. She took his hand. Please, I can't lose you, not after everything. Something in her voice, the pregnancy hormones, the exhaustion, the naked fear, got through where logic couldn't. Jiho's shoulders sagged slightly. Fine, but I'm not running. If they come, I fight. With guards, with backup, but I fight. Acceptable, Minjae said, relief flooding his face. Daejung, assemble a team. Jiho's protection is priority 1. Amara's is priority 2. Everything else is secondary. What about you, boss? I'll be where I'm needed most, hunting Song Jae-sung, because the best defense is ending this permanently. He looked around the room at the people he trusted most. Tomorrow, this ends. One way or another. Everyone clear? They were clear. They just didn't know that Song Jae-sung had planned for every possibility except one. The next evening started quiet. Jiho sat in a lecture hall that should have held 200 students, but now held only 20. Most had stayed home after warnings about potential violence. Campus security had been doubled, but they were rent-a-cops with the tasers, not trained soldiers. The real protection was Daejung and his team. Spread throughout the building in plain clothes, weapons concealed. Jiho's phone buzzed. Unknown number. He almost ignored it, then saw the message preview. I'm sorry for everything. I love you. Be safe. H. Hana. His heart clenched despite the anger, despite the betrayal, despite everything. He typed back. Stay away. You made your choice. Her response came immediately. My choice was always you, but my father won't stop. He's planning something terrible. Please, Jiho, leave campus now. Jiho forwarded the message to Daejung, who was positioned near the main entrance. The lieutenant's response was instant. Could be a trap. Could be legitimate. Either way, stay alert. Jiho scanned the lecture hall. The professor droned on about economic theory, oblivious to the tension. Students typed notes on laptops, checked phones, lived their normal lives. They had no idea they were sitting in a potential war zone. His phone buzzed again. This time, his father. 3 vehicles approaching campus. Unknown occupants. Evacuate now. Jiho stood, interrupting the professor. Everyone needs to leave, now. There's a security threat. Move quickly, but don't panic. Use the north exits. Students stared at him like he'd lost his mind. The professor sputtered about class time and university policy. Then, the windows exploded inward as gunfire erupted from outside. The lecture hall descended into chaos. Students screaming, diving under desks, running for exits. Jiho pulled the professor down as bullets chewed through the walls, his training overriding terror. Daejung and his team were already returning fire, moving with military precision. Jiho, exit now! Daejung shouted. North stairwell, go! But Jiho saw a girl, maybe 19, frozen in fear, too terrified to move as bullets sparked off desks around her. He ran to her, grabbed her arm, pulled her toward the exit. Come on. Move! More gunfire. Someone screamed. Jiho felt something hot punch through his shoulder. Not pain, not yet, just impact and the knowledge that he'd been hit. He kept moving, kept pulling the girl, reached the stairwell and shoved her through. Get to the parking lot, he yelled. Run. She ran. Jiho turned back, saw Daejung and 2 guards holding the doorway firing in controlled bursts. How many attackers? 5? 10? The gunfire was constant, overwhelming. Then he saw her, Hana, standing in the hallway, tears streaming down her face, holding. No! Jiho screamed, but it was too late. Song Jae-sung stepped out behind his daughter, gun pressed to the back of her head. Kang Jiho, come out or I shoot. Jiho's mind raced. This was the trap. This was always the trap. Use Hana's love against him, force him into the open, take him as leverage against his father. Don't, Hana sobbed. Jiho, don't. He'll kill you. He'll kill everyone. Just run. Shut up! Jae-sung's voice was dead, emotionless. You chose him over family. Now you die with him. Last chance, boy. Come out or I paint these walls with my daughter's brain. Dae-jung grabbed Jiho's arm. Don't. It's suicide. Your father would never... Let me go. Jiho's voice was calm, clear. The fear was still there, but underneath it was something stronger. The certainty that he wouldn't let Hana die for loving him. Wouldn't let her father murder her because she'd chosen differently. Even if he didn't trust her. Even if he'd never forgive her. He wouldn't let her die. Jiho, no! He pulled free and stepped into the hallway, hands raised. I'm here. Let her go. Song Jae-sung smiled, terrible and cold. Stupid boy. Love makes you stupid. He shifted his aim from Hana to Jiho. Your father killed my brothers, my cousins, my friends. Now I kill his son. Fair trade. Then shoot me. Jiho's voice didn't shake. But let her go first. She's your daughter. She's nothing. Neither are you. The gunshot echoed through the hallway, but it didn't come from Jae-sung's gun. Hana had twisted, grabbed her father's arm, forced the gun away from Jiho. The bullet went wild, punching through a window. Jae-sung backhanded her, sending her sprawling, raised his weapon again. Multiple gunshots, Dae-jung and his team, no longer holding back. Song Jae-sung went down hard, bullets stitching across his chest, dead before he hit the floor. Hana crawled to her father's body, sobbing. No, no! Appa, I'm sorry, I'm sorry! Jiho moved toward her, his shoulder bleeding, his head spinning. Hana, don't! She looked up at him, her face destroyed. I killed my own father, for you, and you'll never forgive me for any of it. For lying, for betraying you, for... She pressed her hands to her father's chest, trying hopelessly to stop bleeding that was already over. Go. Please. I can't look at you. More gunfire outside. The attack wasn't over. This had been one team, but there were others. The clinic, headquarters, all under assault. Jiho, we need to move. Dae-jung pulled at him. More hostiles incoming. Jiho let himself be pulled away, looking back at Hana kneeling in her father's blood, and felt nothing. Not love, not hate, just emptiness. The girl he'd loved was gone, replaced by this broken thing that would haunt him forever. They made it to the parking lot where the university was evacuating in chaos. Police sirens in the distance, gunfire still echoing from inside buildings. Jiho's shoulder throbbed, blood soaking through his shirt. Hyun-woo appeared, helping support him. You're hit. Just a graze. I'll live. Your father's going to kill me for letting you get shot. Get in line. They piled into an armored SUV. Dae-jung driving, 2 guards in front, Jiho and Hyun-woo in back. The vehicle peeled out of the parking lot, heading toward headquarters where Min-jae and Amara were coordinating the defense. But they never made it. The rocket-propelled grenade hit their rear axle, sending the SUV spinning, flipping, slamming into a concrete barrier with enough force to deploy every airbag. Jiho's head cracked against the side window, his already injured shoulder screaming as the seatbelt caught, and the world went dark. Amara felt the contraction hit mid-sentence, doubling her over, stealing her breath. Dr. Yoon was there instantly, hand supporting her, voice calm despite alarm in her eyes. How far apart? The doctor asked. First one. Amara gasped through the pain. But it's too early. I'm only 22 weeks. This can't be... It's stress-induced. Braxton Hicks. We need to get you horizontal. Now. I can't. The attack. Min-jae needs... Another contraction. Stronger. Amara cried out, her hand clutching her belly. Too early. Way too early. Their baby wasn't viable yet. If this was real labor, if the stress had triggered preterm... Min-jae burst into the room, his face white. Jiho's vehicle was hit. RPG attack 3 blocks from here. The SUV is destroyed. Dae-jung is dead. Hyun-woo is critical and Jiho... His voice broke. They can't find Jiho. He's gone. The world stopped. Gone? Amara tried to stand, another contraction doubling her over. What do you mean gone? The SUV flipped. Fire department cut them out. Found Daejung's body. Found Hyunwoo trapped in front. But the back seat where Jiho was sitting, Min-jae's hands were shaking. Blood. His blood. But no body. Someone took him from the wreckage. Song Jae-sung is dead. Killed at the university. This is someone else. Another family. Another enemy. We don't know. But they have my son and we have no idea where they took him. Amara's vision grayed at the edges. The contractions were coming faster now, every 2 minutes, and she knew with absolute medical certainty that she was going into premature labor. Stress, trauma, fear for Jiho. Her body was shutting down, trying to protect the baby the only way it knew how, by ending the pregnancy. Dr. Yoon, she gasped, I need to stop this. The baby. Too early. I know. I'm preparing the medication now. But Amara, you need to stay calm. Panic makes it worse. My son is missing! Min-jae's voice was raw. They took him! They took our boy and we don't know where! Another contraction. Amara screamed, the pain beyond anything she'd prepared for. Dr. Yoon was already injecting something, terbutaline, to stop the contractions. But it felt too late. Felt like her body had made a choice and wouldn't be denied. Min-jae, she gasped. Find him! Find Jiho! I'll be fine. The baby will be fine. But you need to find our son. I'm not leaving you. Go. The word was a scream. He needs you more than I do right now. Find him. Min-jae stood frozen between his pregnant girlfriend and his missing son, between one child and another, the impossible choice tearing him apart. Then he kissed her forehead, whispered, I love you, and ran. Amara lay back, Dr. Yoon working over her, medication flowing into her veins, contractions slowly, too slowly, beginning to ease. The baby kicked, hard and angry, as if protesting the interruption. Hold on, Amara whispered to her belly. Just hold on. Your brother needs your father right now. So you and me? We're going to be strong. We're going to survive this, because that's what this family does. Another kick. Softer this time. Agreement, maybe. Or just a baby doing what babies do, floating oblivious in a womb while the world burned outside. Amara closed her eyes and prayed to every god she'd ever heard of that Jiho was alive. Jiho woke to darkness and the smell of blood. His head throbbed, his shoulder burned. When he tried to move, he discovered his hands were zip-tied behind his back, his ankles bound to a chair. He was in a basement, maybe, or a warehouse. Concrete walls, no windows, a single bare bulb hanging from the ceiling. You're awake. Good. A woman's voice, American accent. I was starting to worry I'd hit you too hard. Jiho's vision cleared slowly. The woman was black, maybe 20 years old, tall and athletic, with short natural hair and eyes that assessed him like a threat. She wasn't Korean, wasn't part of any organization he knew. Who are you? His voice was hoarse. Someone who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I saw your SUV get hit. Saw men pulling you from the wreckage. Saw them loading you into a van. She shrugged. I intervened. Why? Because they were going to kill you. Or worse. And I don't like bullies. She pulled up a chair, sat facing him. My name's Alexis. I'm studying abroad at Yonsei. International Relations. And you're Kang Ji-ho, son of Korea's most notorious Mafia boss, currently bleeding all over my safe house while half of Seoul is looking for you. Safe house? My apartment. Well, my aunt's apartment. She's in the States. I'm house sitting. Alexis pulled out a first aid kit. That shoulder wound needs cleaning. You're lucky it's just a graze. Another inch and you'd have lost the arm. You pulled me from a burning vehicle and brought me to your apartment. That's insane. Yeah, probably, but I've done stupider things. She started cutting away his bloodied shirt, revealing the wound. This is going to hurt. It did. Jiho gritted his teeth as she cleaned the injury, her hands efficient and sure. Not medical training, but trauma training, the kind you learn in dangerous places. Where did you learn to do this? He asked. Afghanistan, my father's military, I grew up on bases. You pick things up. She bandaged the wound, then moved to check his head injury. Mild concussion, maybe. How's your vision? Any nausea? I'm fine. I need to contact my father. They think I'm dead or captured. I know, I've been monitoring the news. Massive manhunt. Every cop in Seoul looking for you. Your father's organization tearing the city apart. Alexis sat back. Which is why you can't contact them yet. What? The people who took you from that SUV? They're monitoring all communications. The moment you call your family, they'll triangulate your location. They'll come here. They'll kill us both. She held up her phone. But I have a friend who can get a message through securely. Untraceable. Give me until tomorrow morning. Then you can go home. I don't have until tomorrow. My father thinks I'm in danger, yeah, but you're alive and safe and healing. Give it 12 hours. Let your head injury stabilize. Let the situation cool down. Alexis's eyes were kind but firm. I saved your life. Trust me to keep you alive a little longer. Jiho wanted to argue, wanted to demand his phone, wanted to break free and run back to his family. But his head was throbbing, his shoulders screamed, and somewhere deep down he knew she was right. Why are you helping me? He asked. Because I could. Simple answer. Complete answer. I saw someone who needed help and I helped. That's how I was raised. That's how I was raised too. Look where it got me. Alexis smiled, sad and understanding. Yeah, helping people is dangerous, but it's also the only thing that makes us human, so we keep doing it anyway. She reminded him of someone. It took Jiho a moment to place it. Amara. She reminded him of Amara, 10 years ago, throwing herself in front of bullets without thinking, because that's what you did when someone needed help. My stepmother is pregnant, he said suddenly. She's been under massive stress because of the attacks. If she thinks I'm dead, if she goes into labor early... Then we get the message through tonight, right now. Alexis pulled out her phone. What do you want to say? Jiho thought carefully. Tell them, Jiho alive, safe, head injury and shoulder wound but stable. We'll contact in 12 hours with location. Don't trust the main channels, enemy monitoring. Alexis typed, sent it through whatever secure channel she had. Within minutes, a response came back. Not words, just a signal confirming receipt. They got it, she said. Your family knows you're alive. Jiho sagged in relief, exhaustion crashing over him. Thank you. You're welcome. Now sleep. I'll keep watch. You're safe here. He didn't mean to sleep, but his body had other ideas, dragging him under despite the fear and pain and uncertainty. His last conscious thought was of Hannah, kneeling in her father's blood, and the strange American woman who'd saved him for no reason except that it was the right thing to do. The message reached Minjai while he was interrogating a captured Song family associate in a basement across town. The moment he saw it, he dropped everything and called Amara. He's alive, he said, his voice breaking. Jiho's alive. Amara sobbed in relief, the sound carrying through the phone. Where is he? Unknown. Safe house. Someone pulled him from the wreckage and is protecting him. Head injury and shoulder wound, but stable. Minjai read the message 3 times, as if repetition would make it more real. He's alive. Our boy is alive. 12 hours, Amara said. We just need to hold for 12 more hours. How are you, the baby? Stable. Contraction stopped. Dr. Yoon says as long as I stay horizontal and calm, we should be fine. A pause. Minjae, who saved him? Who has our son? I don't know, but whoever they are, they're keeping him safe. That's all that matters right now. He was right. And wrong. Because in 12 hours, when Jiho finally called with a location, when they sent cars to retrieve him, when he stumbled out of that apartment building with his head bandaged and his shoulder wrapped, Alexis would be gone. No note, no number, no way to find her or thank her or ask why she'd risked everything for a stranger. Just a ghost who'd saved his life and vanished into Seoul's 8 million souls. And Jiho, standing on that street corner with his father's arms around him and Amara crying with relief, would think about the black American woman with kind eyes and steady hands. would wonder where she was, would promise himself he'd find her someday, would have no idea that she'd spend the next 2 years finishing her degree, leaving Korea, and only returning when her own demons caught up with her. When she'd need help, when the Kang family would get their chance to return the favor. But that was a story for another time. 2 weeks later, the warehouse in Busan burned. Inside, Park Mi-sun and the last of the Song family remnants screamed as the flames consumed them. Outside, Min-jae watched with cold satisfaction, his arm around Amara, who was 7 months pregnant now, her belly enormous and beautiful. "It's over," he said. "Every family that ever threatened us. Gone. Destroyed. We're safe." "For now," Amara said, but she smiled because for now was better than never, because their baby kicked against her ribs, strong and healthy, because Jiho stood beside them, his shoulder healed, his heart still broken but mending, alive against all odds. "What happens now?" Jiho asked. "Now we rebuild," Min-jae said. "Stronger, better, an organization that protects instead of destroys. That's my legacy to you. That's what I want you to inherit." "And college?" Amara added. "You're still going back to finish your degree. This family needs educated leaders, not just strong ones." "Yes, Amara." Jiho's voice was soft. He still couldn't call her mother. But the love was there. The bond forged in blood and bullets and impossible survival. They watched the warehouse burn, destroying the last physical evidence of the families that had haunted them. Tomorrow, there would be police reports and investigations and carefully constructed lies. But tonight, there was just fire and family and the hard-won piece of survival. "Do you ever think about her?" Amara asked Jiho quietly. "Hana?" "Every day, but less each day." He touched his shoulder where the bullet had grazed him. "And I think about the woman who saved me, Alexis. I've been looking for her, asking around campus, but it's like she never existed." "Maybe that's for the best," Min-jae said. "Not everyone who helps us can stay in our lives. Sometimes help comes and goes like a ghost." "Like Amara did for you," Jiho said. 10 years ago, a ghost who threw herself in front of bullets. "And came back," Amara corrected. "Ghosts don't always stay ghosts." They drove back to Seoul in silence, each processing the past months in their own way. When they reached the safe house, the new one, better fortified, more secure, Dr. Yoon was waiting with her ultrasound machine. "Monthly checkup," she announced. "And this time, maybe we don't have it interrupted by explosions?" "We can try," Amara laughed. The ultrasound showed a baby that was perfect. Strong heartbeat, good size, already showing personality, kicking when prodded, turning away from the wand like it was an annoyance. "Definitely your child," Dr. Yoon said to Min-jae. "Already stubborn." "Or yours," Min-jae countered, looking at Amara. "Already brave." 2 more months, Dr. Yoon said. "Then you'll meet this little warrior. Are you ready?" Were they ready to bring a child into this world of violence and danger and impossible love? To raise another generation in the shadow of the Mafia, even one transformed? "No," Amara said honestly, "but we'll figure it out, like everything else." That night, after Jiho had gone to bed and the guards were at their posts and Seoul hummed outside their windows, Amara and Min-jae lay together feeling their baby move. "Do you think it ever really ends?" Amara asked. "The danger, the threats, the enemies?" "No," Min-jae said. "There's always another Song family, another Park, another person who wants revenge for something we did or didn't do. That's the world we live in. That's not comforting. I'm not trying to comfort you. I'm trying to be honest." He pressed his hand against her belly. "But I think maybe we get periods of peace, windows of safety, and we use them to heal, to grow, to prepare for whatever comes next. Is that what this is? A window? Yes. And I plan to enjoy every second of it before the next storm hits. What if the next storm comes before the baby's born? Then we survive it, together, like always." Amara wanted to argue, wanted to demand guarantees of safety and normalcy that didn't exist. But but she knew better. This was the life they'd chosen, complicated, dangerous, and impossibly full of love. So instead of arguing, she kissed him and whispered against his lips, "I wouldn't change any of it. The bullets, the fear, the impossible choices, because they brought me here, to you, to Jiho, to this family, and that's worth everything." "Even the contractions?" he teased. "Even the contractions." They fell asleep like that, tangled together, their baby moving between them, Jiho safe down the hall, the city quiet outside. A moment of peace in lives, defined by chaos. It wouldn't last. But for tonight, it was enough. 3 days later, Jiho. Jiho stood outside the International Relations building at Yonsei University, scanning faces. He'd been doing this every day for 2 weeks, coming to campus, watching students pass, looking for one face among thousands. Alexis, the woman who'd saved him, and vanished. He had so few details: Black, American, 20 years old, studying international relations. But that described dozens of students, and when he'd checked the registrar's office, they had 5 Alexises enrolled, none matched. "You're that guy." Jiho turned. A Korean student, maybe a freshman, was staring at him. "The one whose dad is, the gangster." "My father runs a business organization," Jiho said carefully. "Right. Business." The student smirked. "Must be nice, never having to worry about money or safety or—" "My friend died protecting me 2 weeks ago. I was shot. I watched a girl I loved kneel in her father's blood after saving my life. So yeah, it's great. Super privileged." Jiho's voice was flat, dead. "Anything else?" The student paled and hurried away. Jiho returned to his surveillance, hating that his family's reputation preceded him, hating that he couldn't just be a normal college student, hating Kang Jiho. He turned, a woman, Korean, mid-20s, carrying a messenger bag with international student organization pins. "I'm Han Soo-jin. I coordinate housing for international students." She pulled out a tablet. "You've been asking around about an American student named Alexis who studies IR?" "Yes. Do you know her?" "I did. Past tense." Soo-jin pulled up a file. "Alexis Chen, 20 years old, American, full scholarship student specializing in conflict resolution. She was here on a semester exchange program that ended 2 weeks ago. She returned to the United States." Jiho's heart sank. "She's gone?" "According to our records, yes. Flew out of Incheon on the 15th. Why are you looking for her?" "She helped me. I wanted to thank her." Soo-jin studied him, clearly debating whether to say more. Finally, "Alexis was unusual, brilliant student. But she had this habit of helping people in ways that got her in trouble. Security guard getting harassed by drunk students. She'd intervene. Exchange student getting scammed by their landlord. She'd fix it. She was like a superhero," Jiho finished. "Yeah, exactly. And then she just left. Didn't say goodbye to anyone, just packed up and flew home." Soo-jin handed him a piece of paper with an email address. "This is her university contact in the States, Georgetown University. If you want to reach her, that's your best shot." "Thank you." Soo-jin left. Jiho stared at the email address. a.chennygeorgetown.edu, and wondered if he should write. What would he even say? "Thank you for saving my life? Thank you for reminding me that good people exist? Thank you for being there when I needed someone most?" He pocketed the paper and headed home, promising himself he'd write eventually. He had no idea that Alexis had left Seoul in a hurry because her own past had caught up with her. That the men she'd been hiding from for 2 years had finally found her. That she was running again, this time to a new city, a new identity, a new chance at invisibility. He had no idea that 2 years from now, those same men would follow her back to Korea, that she'd need help, that he'd get his chance to save her the way she'd saved him. But that was a story for part 5. 1 week before the baby. Amara was enormous, miserable, and completely done being pregnant. "Get it out," she groaned, lying on the couch while Minjae rubbed her swollen feet. "I'm serious. C-section." Now, I don't care. Get this baby out of me. 1 more week, Dr. Yoon said, checking her blood pressure. The baby's full term. You're doing great. Just 1 more week. I'm going to die. You're not going to die. I'm going to explode. Same thing. Minjae tried not to laugh. Failed. Amara glared at him with the fury of a woman who'd been pregnant through a war, through contractions at 22 weeks, through stress that should have killed both her and the baby. If you laugh one more time, I'm banning you from the delivery room, she threatened. You need me in the delivery room. I need an epidural and a time machine that takes me back to before I got pregnant. You're optional. Jiho appeared in the doorway, trying not to smile. Amara, Hyunwoo's asking if you want Korean food or American food for dinner. I want this baby out. That's what I want for dinner. So, Korean? Fine. Whatever. Food is meaningless in my current state of existence. Dr. Yoon finished her exam. Everything looks perfect. Baby's in position. You could go into labor any time. And Amara, try to relax. Stress isn't good for... If one more person tells me to relax, I'm going to start breaking fingers. After Dr. Yoon left, Amara softened slightly. I'm sorry. I'm a nightmare. I know I'm a nightmare. You're pregnant and terrified and exhausted, Minjae said, still rubbing her feet. You're allowed to be a nightmare. What if I'm a terrible mother? What if I can't do this? What if... You threw yourself in front of bullets for a child you didn't know. You built an intelligence network to protect my family. You survived, contractions at 22 weeks through sheer stubbornness. You're going to be an incredible mother. What if the baby hates me? Babies don't hate people. They scream and poop and occasionally sleep. That's their whole personality for the first 3 months. What if someone tries to kill us again? Then we protect them, like we protected Jiho, like we've protected each other. This baby will be the most defended child in Korea. Amara wanted to argue, wanted to list all the 1,000 ways this could go wrong. But her body was exhausted, and her heart was full, and she was so tired of being afraid. I love you, she said instead. I love you too, even when you threatened to ban me from the delivery room. Especially then. The birth, 5 days later. Amara's water broke at 3 a.m., which felt thematically appropriate. Everything dramatic in their lives happened in the middle of the night. Minjae, she shook him awake. It's time. He was up instantly, all business, grabbing the hospital bag they'd had packed for weeks. Contractions? Started 20 minutes ago, 7 minutes apart. She breathed through another one. We should go. They didn't go to a regular hospital. Too public, too vulnerable. Instead, they went to the private clinic Dr. Yoon had prepared, fully equipped, completely secure, with enough guards to repel a small army. Jiho met them there, having been woken by Daijung's replacement. He looked terrified and excited and young, so young in his concern. You're going to be okay, he told Amara, gripping her hand. You're the strongest person I know. You've got this. Tell your sibling to hurry up. I'm over this. Labor was brutal. 17 hours of increasing pain, despite the epidural, despite the breathing techniques, despite everything. Amara had treated hundreds of patients in labor, had studied obstetrics, thought she knew what to expect. She didn't. I can't do this, she gasped at hour 15. I can't. It's too much. You can, Minjae said, his voice steady despite the fear in his eyes. You're almost there. 1 more hour, maybe less. You said that 3 hours ago. This time I mean it. Dr. Yoon checked her dilation. You're at 9 centimeters, almost time to push. Are you ready? No, but let's do this anyway. The pushing was agony. Every contraction felt like being torn apart from the inside. But somewhere around push 37, Amara counted, she felt the baby shift, felt gravity, and biology, and sheer determination combine. 1 more big push, Dr. Yoon coached. Come on, Amara, bring your baby into the world. Amara pushed with everything she had left, which wasn't much, but was enough. The baby slid free with a final burn of pain, and then crying, loud, angry, indignant crying of a newborn who'd been warm and comfortable and was now cold and exposed. "It's a girl," Dr. Yoon announced, placing the squirming, screaming baby on Amara's chest. "You have a daughter." Amara looked down at the tiny, furious face. Skin darker than Minjai's, lighter than hers, hair thick and black, eyes squeezed shut in outrage at being born, and felt her entire world reorganize around this new reality. A daughter. They had a daughter. "She's perfect," Minjai whispered, tears streaming down his face. "She's absolutely perfect." "She's loud," Amara laughed through her own tears. "She's so loud." Jiho appeared in the doorway, having been banished during the actual delivery but unable to stay away. Can I come meet your sister?" Minjai said. Jiho approached slowly, staring at the baby with wonder. "She's so small." "She's 7 pounds, 3 ounces, Dr. Yoon said. Perfectly healthy. Good lungs, as you can hear." "Does she have a name?" Amara and Minjai had debated this for months. Korean name? American name? Something that honored both cultures. Finally, they'd chosen. "Kang Arya," Minjai announced. Arya meaning lioness in Hebrew, but also close to the Korean Ari meaning beautiful truth. "And her middle name is Zoe," Amara added, Greek for life, because she fought so hard to be born, fought through contractions at 22 weeks, fought through war, fought through everything. "Kang Arya Zoe," Jiho tested the name. "I like it. Arya, can I hold her?" Dr. Yoon helped position him, supporting the baby's head. Arya stopped crying the moment she was in Jiho's arms, as if recognizing family, her tiny fist wrapped around his finger, gripping tight. "Hi, Arya," Jiho whispered. "I'm your big brother. I'm going to protect you forever. Nobody's going to hurt you. Ever. I promise." Amara watched her stepson, this boy she'd saved 10 years ago, who'd become her son in every way that mattered, holding her daughter with infinite care, watched Minjai hovering beside them, one hand on Jiho's shoulder, the other touching Arya's tiny head. Her family, complicated, dangerous, held together by bullets and sacrifice and love that transcended every obstacle. "We did it," she said to Minjai. "We actually did it. Did you doubt we would? Every single day, but we did it anyway." Arya made a small sound, not crying, just a noise of contentment. She was warm, fed, held by family who would die before letting anyone hurt her. She had no idea how lucky she was, or how dangerous her life would become. But that was a problem for future days. For now, there was just this moment, a new life, a new beginning, a family that had survived the impossible. 6 months later, the search begins. Jiho sat in his dorm room at university, staring at his laptop. He'd finally worked up the courage to email Alexis, had drafted and deleted a dozen versions. Finally, he just wrote the truth. "Hi, Alexis. You saved my life and soul. I'm not sure if you remember your aunt's apartment, the head injury, the 12 hours where my family thought I was dead. I've been trying to find you for months to thank you, to ask why you helped a stranger at great risk to yourself. I'm okay now, my shoulder healed, my family is safe. We have a new addition, my baby sister, Arya. She's perfect and loud and keeps everyone awake at night. I think you'd like her. If you're willing, I'd like to stay in touch. Even just email, I'd like to know you're okay, that whatever you were running from didn't catch up. Thank you for being there when I needed someone most." Jiho, he hit send before he could overthink it further, then closed his laptop and went to feed Arya, who was screaming in her crib down the hall. The email bounced back 2 days later. Address not found. User not found. Like Alexis Chen had never existed. Jiho stared at the bounce notification and felt his heart sink. She was gone. Truly, completely gone. A ghost who'd saved him and vanished into smoke. He deleted the draft, closed his laptop, and promised himself he'd stop looking. He was lying. Because something about Alexis, the way she'd helped without asking for anything, the way she'd risked everything for a stranger, the way her eyes had been kind even when talking about violence and danger, had stayed with him. She'd reminded him that not everyone in the world operated on transactions and debts, that sometimes help was just help, that good people existed, and someday he'd find her again. Somehow he'd return the favor. He just didn't know it would take 2 years. Didn't know she'd come back to Korea running from a past that had finally caught up. Didn't know he'd get his chance to be the one who saved her. But that was a story for part 5. Epilogue, 2 years later. Arya was 2 years old, a tiny terror with her mother's determination and her father's stubbornness. She ran through the penthouse shrieking with joy, Jiho chasing her, both of them laughing. "Catch me, Appa! Catch me! I'm going to catch you and tickle you until you can't breathe." "No!" Amara watched from the couch, coffee in hand, smiling at the chaos. She'd gone back to work at the Yosu clinic part-time, spending weekends in Seoul with Minjae and the kids. The arrangement worked, mostly. There were still threats, still enemies, still nights when she woke up checking that everyone was breathing. But there were also mornings like this. Laughter and coffee and family. Minjae appeared behind her, arms wrapping around her waist. They're going to break something. Probably, but they're happy. They are. He kissed her neck. "How are you feeling?" "Tired, grateful, wondering when the next crisis hits. Always waiting for the next crisis. It's kept us alive so far." Jiho caught Arya, lifting her high. She shrieked with delight. "Again! Again! Give Appa a break, he's old." "I'm 20, Jiho protested. "That's not old." "Ancient," Amara teased. "Practically geriatric." Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She almost ignored it. Unknown numbers rarely meant anything good. But something made her answer. "Dr. Thompson?" American accent. Female. Young. Terrified. "This is she. Who's calling?" "My name is Alexis Chen. I don't know if Jiho mentioned me. I helped him 2 years ago in Seoul. And now I need help. I need..." The line cut to static. Then screaming. Then silence. Amara's blood ran cold. "Alexis? Alexis, are you there?" Nothing. She pulled the phone away, looked at the number. Seoul area code, recently active. "Minjae," she said slowly, "we have a problem." "What kind of problem?" "The kind that's about to drag us into someone else's war." Jiho had heard the name. He crossed the room, Arya in his arms, his face transformed. "Did you say Alexis? The woman who saved me? She called you?" "She's in trouble. Seoul. She said she needs help and then the line went dead." Amara was already tracing the number, her invisible hand contacts activating. "She's in danger, serious danger." "Then we help her," Jiho said immediately, "like she helped me." "We don't know what we're walking into. She saved my life when she didn't have to, when it put her in danger. We owe her." Jiho's voice was firm, final. "We find her, we help her, that's what family does." Minjae and Amara exchanged glances. Their son, their fierce, protective son who'd been hardened by loss and war, was right. Debts had to be paid, help had to be returned. "Then we find her," Minjae decided. "All of us. We find Alexis Chen and we end whatever threat is hunting her." "Agreed?" "Agreed," Amara said. "Agreed," Jiho echoed. Arya, oblivious to the adult conversation, pulled at Jiho's hair. "Play! More play!" "In a minute, baby. Appa has to save someone first." "Like Amma saved you?" Arya had heard the stories, told over and over of Amara's bullets and sacrifice. Exactly like that. They gathered their resources, activated their networks, and began the hunt for a woman who'd vanished 2 years ago, who'd saved one of their own, who was now paying the price for her kindness. And in a warehouse across